selection of any surfboard, whether it be the first, new or second hand, is very important. For the beginner, the correct equipment will mean the difference between a slow or faster learning period. The surfboard is usually designed for a specific purpose, is handcrafted, and is comprised of many functional parts, in other words, the parts that make it go. If we take a look at 3 different surfboards, we can pick the different features between them and consequently see what each one has been made for and who it was made for. Our first look will be at a popular model, the twin fin, with swallow tail, 2 flyers and a V bottom. This particular board is 6 feet long. The most important part of this board is its plan shape or outline. Note carefully that this type of board is usually quite wide, up to 21 inches or 525 millimeters, and especially maintains this wideness to the tail or back of the board. The main reason for this is to attain a high degree of manoeuvrability, with the board enabling quicker and looser turning or hot dogging. By having 2 fins, it is possible to keep this area in the tail and still keep the holding power to keep the board high in a wave. If a board of this shape were only to have 1 fin, it would tend to slide under turns or in steep sections of waves. The next aspect of this board is the shape of the tail. It is known as a swallowtail flyer, simply because of the similarity of the shape to the wings of a swallow. This shape coordinates very well with the V bottom of this twin fin, enabling a smooth, quick release of water underneath the board, but also providing 2 positive points that tend to help directional positivity. In other words, they, the swallows, act as a type of rudder aiding the fins. The small flyers near the tail of the board also serve a dual purpose. 1, they enable the width of the board to be carried further to the back before bringing the edges into the tail. And 2, they also provide further release from the rushing water. So now we have a board that is manoeuvrable, controllable and reasonably fast. But what of the V bottom? Is it necessary? Yes, the V bottom has an important purpose. Remembering that the basic twin fin has usually maximum area in the tail, we must always be conscious of sliding and drag, simply because there is so much board in the water. By shaping the V into the bottom of the board, 2 separate flat planes are created. The formation acts like a keel of a boat, but also creates 2 small flat areas off which the board can be turned. A very important part to all of this are the rails or edges of the board. All of the manoeuvres that you will perform are restricted by the shape of the rails. They come in a variety of shapes, seem at first glance to have little variation, but are extremely critical for the type of waves that you will ride and the style of surfing that you adapt. For your earlier boards, a basic, medium, soft, low rail will be sufficient for your needs. The other aspect to consider is one that we have already mentioned, 2 fins, 2 necessarily well-foiled rudders for your craft. The twin fin system is designed for maximum control under severe conditions, tight turns, responsiveness and speed. The holding powers of the twin fin design hold the board to a wave in radical positions. This is a design that has survived many changing trends and one that serves well as an all-round board. The single fin pintail comes in many variations, but the basic design still holds. A drawn-out shape designed for precision and speed. Now we take a look at the bottom curve. More pronounced without the V of a twin fin, we can see that the bottom of this board has gentle curve through the middle, with sharper lift near the nose and a lesser lift in the tail. This is to ensure good trimming or cruising ability, as well as having nose riding ability. The streamlined nature of the outline gives extreme wave-holding features, combined with speed and holds into tight arcing turns. To gain added features into this well-designed shape, there are a number of innovative points that can be used. This particular board is a fast, hot-dogging model of a standard pintail. Note the shape of the tail. Much more rounded than the pintail, this design features wide deck and area tail for greater manoeuvrability. To maintain maximum width, the shaper has utilised flyers to bring the outline into the tail. Remember that too much area in the tail will result in sliding. The position of the fin is critical to a board of this type, and it is only the more experienced surfer that will effectively utilise the fin box. The fin box enables the surfer to move the fin, usually forward, to change the turning ability of the board. The most noticeable aspect of this board is the channel bottom. A fairly recent innovation, about 4 years old, the channel bottom serves three purposes. One, it provides speed through a better flowing design and water release. Two, it provides directional the use of a smaller fin. And three, the channel design acts as an extra holding edge or an extra rail. This means that hard grabbing rails that tend to catch can be softened for better manoeuvrability. The end result is a board that serves tight in the wave, is fast and also very manoeuvrable. You can now see that the surfboard is a very complex item with many varied combinations that will affect its performance. By far the easiest method for the newcomer is to ask the advice of a salesperson at a surf shop. Mick Adam explains the normal method of establishing the size and design of a new board.
In selecting your first board, we like to find out the maker. And once you find out the board you like, we find out what shape you like, which takes in the pintail and the round tail, the fly pintail and the twin fin. We then find out your size, which affects the size of the board, and we also find the length of board you want. If you're an experienced surfer, you might like the twin fin, and if you're a learner, you might like the pintail, because the twin fin could be a little radical, too fast, because they're a quicker turning board. Once you get your board, you get your wax and your leg rope, and you're ready to go. And we'll go to Nat now for more details on surfing and the use of a leg rope.
Now that you have a board, there are other facts that you will need to know. 1. Leg ropes are not a life-saving device. If you can't swim comfortably to shore, you should not be out there. The leg rope was intended to do two things. A. Protect your board from rocks, and B. To minimise swimming, especially in turbulent conditions. 2. Use a leg rope sensibly. Buy one that is good quality. Ensure that it is fitted properly, and always remember that a leg rope will mean that your board is close by in a wipeout. Don't wear a leg rope in big surf. It is dangerous and could cost you your life. 3. It is every surfer's responsibility to know the rules of surfing. Abiding by these unwritten laws will make your sport a safer one. Never paddle out through the impact zone. It is dangerous for everybody involved. Always look for a channel to make your way in. Here you can see surfers utilising what we call the duck dive to get underneath the waves paddling out. Never drop in. The surfer who takes off first or has the inside position has the right of way. Not only can the drop in ruin a perfectly good wave, but can also be extremely dangerous. Don't endanger other surfers by taking off in front of them. It can be costly and dangerous. Respect the safety of others. And our last point, know the surf. Know about the tides and the waves, the rips, the winds, the sandbanks, the reefs, and the points. They are all very important.